Do we have 2011 guys in SQL Server?
No.
No.
Okay, so we don't have any SQL Server 2011. Okay, just a minute. I'm going to create one quiz guys for you. Okay, so advanced poll and quizzing. Next, right, question. Identify the versions of SQL Server. Okay, SQL Server. I'm just creating a quiz guys, please. Okay, SQL Server 2000. Okay, done. So, and one more question is, right, okay. So, and one more. Just a minute. Okay, done. Okay, so I'm launching the quiz, guys. Ready? Be ready. Okay, so there are like three questions are there. Okay, So I'm going to launch this quiz, and then you can select your answers. Okay, and right, okay, chalo, save it. And guys, so launched the quiz. Let me know if you can see the questions on your screen. Please confirm, guys, either screen or you can see in your chart or something like that, any pop-up.
Yes.
I can see the pop.
Yep. Please answer the questions, guys. Just started that, you can see. Guys, can you see the responses, everyone's response, or you can only just poll it?
No, sir. I believe it's only.
You cannot see other responses, right? You can only choose the answer, right?
Yes,
Right.
Okay, done.
Yes.
Yeah. Guys, please try to participate. Just you have to choose the options, right? Nothing to type and all. So please choose the answers. Still, I can see only 14-15 people participated in the quiz. Guys, it should be 100%. I told you, right? I am not like other trainers. Okay. Second question, who SQL Server is a dash software? Almost 24 people answered. 25 people answered. And first question, 25 people answered. Still 3 more people are there. Thank you, Deepka. Thank you, Nisarga, Sudha. Okay, Rajkumar, done. Yugandhar, Sarvasya, done. Okay. Right. 27 out of 28. Still one more has to respond. Not sure. Guys, those who joined from mobile device, so you're able to see the screen like questions and all properly.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, done. Fine, guys. Okay, so that's it. Almost 96% participated. Okay, so for the second question also 96%, and the third question only 24% respond. 24% responded. 24 people. So 25. Okay, fine.
Shamuk,
Yes,
I
please.
only
Sorry.
one question I did.
Only one question you can see.
I got one question.
Sorry.
Yeah, I only.
You cannot see other questions.
I submitted one question. I saw one question.
Oh, is it? Guys, can you see one question or multiple questions you
I
can see,
joined
guys?
from the mobile actually.
Oh, okay. So those who joined from the mobile, so that's why might be. Okay. Right, okay. So that's fine, no issues. Let's discuss about that questions, guys. Questions and answers. So first question is like 3 questions. Okay, fine. So let me take the screenshot. Okay, end the poll. I'm going to end the poll. Share results. Okay, so can you see the results, guys, on your screen?
Yes.
Question.
Okay, so now you can see the second question. Choose the correct options from the below. Okay, SQL Server versions. Okay, we have SQL Server 2008, 8R2, 2014 and 2019. Okay, so in the first response I gave 2008, 8R2, 2012, 12R2, 16 and 18. So there is no 2012 R2 in the SQL Server versions, guys. The next question is, okay, SQL Server. SQL Server, someone responded for the first question 12 R2, so 12 R2 is not there, guys. Okay, please correct yourself. Next is SQL Server is dash software, so DBMS, RDBMS, SDBMS, KDBMS. So it is a RDBMS, relational database management system, guys. Okay, who is the father of RDBMS? KF Chad, EF Dad, PF Chad, EF Cod. I guess here most of the people are confused, right? So one person selected KF Chart. That's okay. Chart is there, so you might have been confused. But who selected EF Dad, guys? Two people selected EF Dad. Who selected EF Dad, guys? PF Chart. Okay, EF Cod. The answer is EF Cod. Okay. So father of RDBMS, EF Cod. That's it. Okay, like this, we'll try to conduct the polls, guys, every day. So based on the previous sessions and all, okay, try to attend, guys. Okay, fine, thank you. And yesterday we discussed about the SQL Server version. Okay, versions of SQL Server. Okay, so versions means an updated software copy of a SQL Server is called a version. So generally, okay, we have different versions in SQL Server, and the SQL Server, Microsoft started its journey, okay, in the year of 1980s. It just took over the Sybase. Please be muted. Do you have any questions? Any questions, guys?
No.
So so for the first question about the SQL. So which one is the
Which one is?
answer? The first one, second one, third one, or the fourth one?
Second one. No, now tell me, do you have 2012 R2? Do you have 2012 R2?
No.
No, right? So how come first one will be the answer? So generally, like we'll confuse, like we thought like 2012 R2 is there, but there is no 2012 R2. So first one is not the answer. Okay, second one is the answer. Okay, any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Can I proceed?
No. Yeah.
Okay. Just a minute. Still people are facing. Just a minute, please don't mind. Okay, fine. Right, okay, so SQL Server started, Microsoft started its journey, okay, in the 1980s, but it just took over the Sybase code. Later, SQL introduced its own version. So from 1990s onwards, SQL Server started releasing the versions in the market. So the first version is SQL Server 1997. It was released in the year of 1997. Then later, after 3 years, SQL Server 2000, Microsoft released SQL Server 2000. So we have already discussed, right? So Microsoft SQL Server, it's kind of a miracle from Microsoft, guys. So almost all the whatever database softwares are there by that time, okay. So Microsoft took the major share. Microsoft SQL Server 2000, okay. Why? Because the specialty is, in 97 there is no GUI actually, but in 2000 they introduced GUI option. They introduced Management Studio, okay. We'll call it as Query Analyzer. So It's a tool, guys. It's a tool to connect to the SQL server, and we can do whatever we want using that tool. Like right click, we can create new database. Right click, we can insert the records and all. By just using GUI options itself without writing any queries, still you can handle the database. That is the first database, guys. SQL Server 2000 is the first version or first database in the world by the time, so that without using any commands you can still access the database. So SQL Server 2000 became a popular product, okay, during those days, guys. Okay, then after 5 years they did some extra, they added some extra features and all. I told you, right, version is nothing but an updated software copy. Each version will be an updated copy of the previous version, so they will introduce new features and all. Okay, so after that, in the year of 2005 they introduced SQL Server 2005. Later, after 3 years, they introduced 2008. Then in the same year they released one more version for 2008, which is released to, then 2012, 2014, 2016, 2017, 2019, and 2022. The latest version is SQL Server 2022, guys, which was released, okay, in the year of 2022. Chalo. So we'll discuss about these numbers. Before that, we'll discuss about the versions, Windows Server versions, guys. We'll discuss about the Windows Server versions. So what is this Windows Server? SQL Server is a database software that we know. What is this Windows Server then? Windows Server is an operating system, guys. Okay, SQL Server is a software or application. Okay, so to install this application, we should have one platform, guys, to install. So you want to install PhonePe application, you want to install GPay application or Swiggy application or WhatsApp, you want to install. Where you can install, guys? In your device, right? Mobile phone. So you can directly install WhatsApp or PhonePe, or do you have any interface before installing? We should have one platform, right? So that platform is called operating system, which is OS. OS means what, guys? It's an interface
Operating
between
system.
you, yes, it is an interface between you and the machine, whether the machine is a system or the machine is a mobile device, whatever it is. If any electronic device is working, means it should have one operating system. Every electronic device will have one operating system, guys. Inbuilt it will be there. You are using one application, Zoom application, to attend the classes. Zoom is an application. Where we can install this Zoom application? If I want to install this Zoom application, we should have one platform. Yes, any questions? Please be muted. I am getting echo sound. Okay, done. Okay, so we should have one platform to install this application. That platform is called an operating system. Let me check who unmuted. Abhi, I'm going to mute you. I'm getting some echo sound. Please don't mind. Yeah, thank you. So we should have an operating system. That operating system is called, we should have one platform to install any application. That platform is called an operating system, guys. Operating system will do lot of things. Operating system will help you to do lot of things. Whatever your requirements are there, it will help you. Everything it will be processed, guys. By using your operating system, you can work with the laptops, right? You can install different applications. You can install, okay, you can work, you can type, you can take printouts, you can listen music, you can play games, right? You can send money, you can receive money, whatnot. Everything you can do, right? But to do all these things, we should have respective applications. If I want to send money, I'll use one application. If you want to order the food, I'll use one application. If I want to play games, I want to install one application. So all these applications, on which platform we can install, guys? On an operating system. Without operating system, I cannot do anything in the machine. Even though your machine is like what is that? 2 lakhs worth machine also, there is no use if you don't have an operating system. You cannot talk to it, first of all. If you have a life, then you can respond. If we don't have life, how we can respond? In the same way, operating system is a kind of life, so that we can talk to that machine directly using this operating system. Okay, so SQL Server is a software. Using this software, I can able to communicate with the databases or whatever work is there. I'm going to complete my work related to the databases. So if I want to install the SQL Server, I told you, right, SQL Server is a software. If you want to install any software, you should have one platform, right? You should have one platform. So that platform is called an operating system. So on which operating system you can install SQL Server, guys? We have different operating systems, guys. We have different types of operating systems. We have different types of operating systems, guys. Okay, we have Windows operating system and Linux operating system. Okay, and CentOS and Mac and Red Hat Linux, right? And what else? Ubuntu. Okay, so like this, we have different operating systems are there in the market. Like in the operating system also, competition is there. So we have different operating systems are there. These are all vendors, like how we have iPhone, Samsung, Vivo, Oppo, okay, Motorola. Like this, how we have different vendors in the mobile devices. In the same way, in the operating systems also, we have different vendors, guys. Windows operating system, Linux operating system, CentOS, Mac, Red Hat, Ubuntu. We have different operating systems in the market. But we can install SQL Server. As of now, we can install SQL Server on Windows operating systems. The latest versions, like 2017 onwards, we can install it on Linux also, but it was not completely implemented in the organizations. No one is using SQL Server with Linux, not even 0.1% also. You can consider Windows operating system from the beginning. Why? Because Microsoft SQL Server is a Microsoft product. Even Windows is also from Microsoft, guys. This is also a Microsoft product. Both are from Microsoft only. Okay, so you can install SQL servers on Windows Server operating systems. So you can install SQL Server on Windows operating systems. So in Windows operating systems, we have again two types, guys. Two types of operating systems. Windows operating systems. One is desktop operating system. Second one is server operating system. One is desktop operating system. Second one is server operating system. So what is the difference between desktop and server operating systems, guys? Any idea? What is the difference between desktop and server operating systems?
I think desktop is normally used, and the server is going to be the server for like the one, just.
Okay. So desktop, as discussed, desktop generally that we are using, like personally daily we are using, right? So whatever whatever operating system you are using now as a personal computer, so that will use your desktop operating systems, guys, like Windows Vista, Windows XP, Windows 7, okay, Windows 8, Windows 8.1. let me write down. Okay, so Windows Vista, Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows
10, 11.
yes, Windows 10, okay, Windows 11. The current version is, what is the current version of desktop operating system, guys? What is the latest version of desktop operating
11.
system? Windows 11,
Windows 11.
right? Most of you are using Windows 11. I'm still using Windows 10 only. Right, so these are the different versions, like how we have iPhone 5, 6, 7, like how we have Android versions are there, right? Android KitKat version, Android Marshmallow version, Android Oreo version, different versions are there, right? In the same way, we have Windows Vista, Windows XP, Windows 7, 8, 8.1, 10, 11. I hope we have experienced all these versions, right? Chalo. So we can install SQL Server in our local laptops also, no issues. Okay, but that is not a real-time setup, guys. In the organizations, we don't use local laptops to install SQL Server. Okay, why we don't use it? Because this,
Compatibility.
yes, compatibility is not an issue. Compatibility, that's okay, fine. But the thing is capability, server capability. Okay, so desktop operating systems or personal operating systems, personal operating systems generally doesn't have that much of capability, hardly. Hardly. The RAM, generally what and all things will be included, guys, in the system? RAM, ROM. Okay, RAM or memory, both are same, guys, don't confuse. ROM or storage or disk, both are same. These are the main peripherals. These are the main peripherals of any system. Okay, a RAM or memory, both are same. ROM or storage or disk, all are same. And the CPU, these are the main peripherals of any system, guys. Okay, so what RAM will do, what ROM will do, what CPU will do, will give you a brief. Okay, will give you just a brief, guys. I don't discuss much about CPU and I'll just give you a basic idea. So CPU is the brain of your machine, guys. Okay, how your brain will calculate. Okay, how your brain will calculate. Okay, so CPU is a kind of a brain of your machine. Okay, it is going to calculate, it will do how you can do multitasking. At a time you can watch the videos and you can eat something, and while eating you can watch the videos, and you can do other things also. Multitasking you can do, right? In the same way CPU also can do multitasking, like you can type the document, parallelly you can watch the movie, or you can listen the songs, and parallelly you can start some other process. So CPU is a kind of a brain, guys. How brain will control all the organs, all the parts. In the same way CPU will control. CPU will send you a command, guys. CPU will send you a command. Hey, do this, do that kind of thing. How brain will send commands to your organs. In the same way CPU also will work, guys. Okay, so CPU will take care of all the things. It will manage the system. Okay, what RAM will do in that case, and what ROM will do in that case, right? So now you want to save anything permanent, guys. RAM is generally a temporary storage area, just to store the values temporarily, to store the data temporarily until the system is up and running. Once you restarted the system, the RAM will be cleared, guys. Nothing will be there in the RAM. It will store the data temporarily, that's it. ROM will store the data permanently. Okay, ROM will store like your disk, right? Even though you turn off your system, you can still see the data, right? If you save the data, if you don't save the data, that is different thing. But if you save the data, you can see the data, right? You can see the data, right? So how you are able to see the data? Because that was stored in the disk, hard disk. So hard disk means which will help you to store the data permanently. ROM, read only memory. ROM means what, guys? A read only memory, so that you can store the data in the ROM permanently. Even though you restart the device, still you can see the data in your disk, right? If you save any photos and all, if you save any videos, if you downloaded any videos, even though you restarted the laptop, still you can see the data in your laptop, right? So that is storing in the disk. As it is storing in the disk is a permanent device, so it can store, guys. Okay, so RAM, if you ask me what RAM will do, okay, for example, now if you want to calculate this one, guys, okay, and Okay, if you want to calculate this one, or else why like that, why to give hard values? Let me go with the small values. Okay, let me give you small values only. Right, okay. So 4 into 2 divided by 2 minus 6 plus 2. So if you want to calculate this value, how you are going to calculate it, guys? Tell me. How you are going to calculate?
Body mass.
Yeah, so we have one rule called BODMAS rule. Okay, forget about all these things. No one will ask in the interview, just to give you clarity. So BODMAS means what, guys? I hope you all know this one. Bracket of division, multiplication, addition and subtraction, right? So this is BODMAS rule. So first it will go for division, 2 by 2, which is 1. So 4 into 1, 4. Then after that, first it will go for brackets. Any brackets are there, then it will check it. Then it will go for division. Then it will go for multiplication, and it will go for addition, and it will go for subtraction. So as per this rule, first there is no bracket, right? Then it will go for division. So 2 by 2, 1, right? So this 1, where it will store this 1 value, that 2 by 2 is equal to 1, right? Where this value will be stored? It will be stored temporarily in the RAM. Okay, this value will be stored temporarily in the RAM. Then 4 into 1, 4. Again this value will be stored in the RAM. Then after that multiplication, 4 into 1 done, right? Then addition, 6 plus 2, 8. Then again this value will be stored in the RAM. Okay, again this value will be stored in the RAM, 8. Next, finally subtraction. So 4 minus 8, the value is minus 4. So this value, finally, if you want to save, you can save it. So this value you can see on the screen, right? So this is the final value, final result. After all the calculation, this is the final result. Until you are going to get the final output, there should be some temporary variables or temporary values will be there, right? That values will be stored inside your memory. Okay, any process wants to load. So generally every process, just to give you a basic idea what RAM will do. RAM will do lot of things, guys. I don't want to discuss all these things, but just give you a basic idea how it will work. Just to give you a basic idea, I just discuss these things. Okay, so to start any application, every application need some amount of RAM. Okay, every application, guys. That's why you can see, okay, if you are installing lot of applications, the machine will become slow. Why? Because each application needs some RAM. Without RAM it cannot survive. Each application should need some RAM. Whatever data it want to store temporarily, for that it needs some RAM. So if you are keep on installing multiple applications without checking the compatibility, without checking the capacity of the machine, if you keep on installing the applications, definitely your machine will become slow. Why? Because all applications will consume your RAM. See here, memory, you can see where I can see this RAM and all. Right click, this is called taskbar. This black bar is called taskbar, where you can see all the tasks. Right click here, open task manager. There you can see CPU value, memory value, disk, network, GPU. Forget about all these things. Okay, just concentrate on CPU and memory. Right, so see here, 70% of memory is consumed, guys. Why? Because see, Zoom is using some RAM. Google Chrome is opened, it is also using some RAM. Microsoft Teams is opened, it is also using some RAM. Avesta antivirus is running, that is also using some RAM. So like this, some other processes in the background. Notepad is open, it is also taking some RAM. So each application you are using, it will take some RAM, guys. So that's why it will consume the existing RAM. If you don't have enough RAM, generally your applications will become too slow, or your system will become too slow, guys. This is the reason. Is it clear, guys? Any questions, any doubts here, please? Any questions, any doubts?
No, sir.
Right? So if I want to install the SQL server, I should have an operating system. Operating system, we have two types of operating systems. Desktop, we have different types of operating systems in the market, but we'll use Windows operating system. Windows operating system is the most compatible operating systems, and that too you can install SQL servers only on Windows operating systems. Okay, up to 2017, up to SQL Server 2017, you can install SQL servers only on Windows operating system. From 2017 onwards, you can install Windows as well as Linux also. Up to 2017, this is a platform dependent. Dependent means what? What is meant by dependency? What is dependency? Depending on something, right? So up to SQL Server 2017, SQL Server is a platform dependent software. Right? Up to 2017, SQL Server is a platform dependent. Right? Platform dependent means what? It will depends on platform, guys. It will depends on platform. Okay? So which platform? Windows Server operating system platform. Which platform, guys? Windows Server operating system platform. So from 2017 onwards, you can install SQL Server on Windows Server operating systems as well as Linux operating systems also, but Linux is not so famous. Okay, so still people are using Windows Server operating system only, and in future also people will use Windows Server operating system. Right. So we just discussed about the operating system, right? So if you see here, we have two types of operating systems. One is desktop operating system that we are using currently. Okay, you people are using laptops, right? There you can see, most of you can see 10 or 11 will be there in your laptops. Okay, and I hope you already worked with Windows 7, 8 and all. I guess you already have an experience with Windows 7, 8 and the older versions of Windows. And we have Windows Server operating systems also. We have Windows Server operating systems also. Windows Server operating systems. So when compared to desktop operating systems, server operating systems will have more capability, more capacity, guys. Hardly whatever systems that we are using now personally, those are called PC, personal computers. That is enough, guys. The RAM that they are providing, so most of you will have 4 GB RAM, I guess, or if you are buying, like recently it might be 8 GB RAM, or you can buy 16 GB hardly, or if any organization is giving, they can give maybe 24 GB or 32 GB hardly. Personal laptops hardly you can see max 32 GB RAM, guys. If you have more RAM, you can do more tasks quickly. Listen carefully. If you have more RAM, you see here, right? See, out of my 12 GB RAM, 70% is consumed. Guys, what is 70% of 12 GB? Can anyone tell me quickly? 70% of 12 GB without using calculators.
Around 9 GB.
Around 70,
Around 8 to 9 GB.
around 9 GB. So here, how to calculate?
8.4.
Yes, very good. Okay, 70%, right? Instead of that, 30% of 12 GB, how much? 30 12 are 360. 12 minus 360, 3.60. How much? 12 minus 12 minus 3, 9, right? 9 plus 3, 12, 8.40, right? 8.40. So means out of 12 GB, 8.40 GB was utilized by all the application. If I start two more application, it will reach us to 100%. My laptop will become very slow. So if you have less RAM, okay, the capacity of the system is also less, guys. It cannot work properly. It cannot do multitasking. So if I have more RAM, I can do lot of things, lot of applications I can open, lot of transactions I can run, right? So if you have good RAM, if you have more RAM, so that is a powerful system, guys. So hardly we are going to use 8 GB or 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB. That's it, max to max. But in the organization, 32 GB means peanuts, guys. Very small thing. Very, very small thing, 32 GB. So we'll use 64 GB, we'll use 128 GB RAMs, not storage, guys. Storage will be in terabytes. We'll use 256 GB RAM machines, we'll use 512 GB RAM machines. Very powerful machines these are. Why? Because see, imagine how many users will be connected to Amazon.in, guys, at a time. How many users across the globe, across the country, at least as it is a .in. Amazon.com, how many users will connect at a time? WhatsApp, how many users will connect at a time, guys? WhatsApp. Forget about this Amazon. WhatsApp, how many users will connect at a time? Mostly will be always in WhatsApp, right? Continuously. So how much RAM it should have? It should have to run it smoothly. Okay, so if you have more RAM, that means that is the most powerful system, guys. Based on the RAM, based on the CPU, you can tell that is a powerful system and all. So that's why as applications are running on the servers, 32 GB, 24 GB is not enough, guys, to survive. So that's why we'll use more RAM, more RAM. So more RAM means the personal computers don't support more than 32 GB, something like that. So we have invented, Microsoft introduced extra operating system called server operating systems. For enterprise use, for any organizational use, we have to use server operating systems, guys. You can still use Windows desktop, but it is not compatible to applications. So that's why we don't use desktop operating systems. Okay, for applications in the organizations, we'll use server operating systems, guys. Okay, so server operating systems are very famous from Microsoft Windows. Okay, so lot of business is there for Windows. Okay, same, don't think server operating system means it will be like a different kind of stuff. No, how you are creating your folder in your laptop, in the same way you can access server also. Same interface, extra features will be there. That's it, guys. Server operating system means don't think that is a something different. No, as it is same as your laptop. Interface and all something different, you will get extra features. That's it. Okay, now is it clear why we will use Windows server operating systems in the organization? Thank you, baby. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, Shanmu.
Guys, any questions? Take it. Any other questions, guys? Okay, chalo. So that's why mostly we'll use Windows server operating systems in the organization. Mostly, not mostly, 100% will use Windows server operating systems only. Okay, so just give me a minute, guys. Just give me a minute. I'll be in mute.
Nope, I'm not able to listen audio from your phone. Is it same with everyone?
Right, fine. Okay, so in the organization, to install SQL Server application, we'll use a platform called Windows Server Operating System. Till now it is clear, right, everyone? Chalo. So we have different versions of Windows Server, Windows Desktop operating systems, right? We have different versions of desktop operating systems. Directly Windows 11 is not came into the market, right? So slowly it was introduced. Then they just developed everything, and you can see 7, 8, 8.1, 10, 11. In the same way, Windows Server also is having different versions. How we are having SQL Server versions, in the same way Windows Server also will have different versions. So what and all Windows Server versions are there? These are the Windows Server versions, guys. You can see here. Okay, so these are the different Windows Server versions. So in the year of 2000, it released a server operating system, Windows Server 2000. Then after 3 years, 2003. Then after 5 years, 2008. 8 R2, 2012. 12 R2, Windows Server 2016. Windows Server 2019. The latest version, can you tell me, guys, what is the latest version of Windows Server? Can anyone tell me? Sorry? Sorry? What is the latest version of Windows Server? 20? Guess it, guys. Guess it. No problem. Guess it. 20? Guys, guess it. At least Akpak, Karvepak, or Inky Pinky Ponky.
2022.
2022, right? That's it. So Windows Server 2022, guys. Okay, we have the latest version, which is Windows Server 2022. So don't confuse here, guys. You can see some of the versions are like some of the SQL servers versions will match with Windows Server versions. Don't confuse. We have SQL Server 2000, Windows Server 2000. We don't have SQL Server 2003. We have SQL Server 2008, Windows Server 2008. SQL Server 2008 R2, Windows Server 2008 R2. We have SQL Server 2012, Windows Server 2012. We don't have SQL Server 2012 R2, but we have Windows Server 2012 R2. SQL Server 2016 we have Windows Server 2016 also. SQL Server 2019 we have Windows Server 2019 also. SQL Server 2022 we have Windows Server 2022 is also. So most of the versions are same, right? Means in the same year they released SQL Server. In the same year they released Windows Server also. Okay, in the same year they released SQL Server, and in the same year they released Windows Server also. Okay, so this also tomorrow I'll ask you, guys. Tomorrow I'll ask you about SQL Server versions again, Windows Server versions again. These two versions should be on tip of your tongue. These two versions. Why? Because you should be very careful. I told you, right? So very common question they will ask you. What and all SQL Server versions you work till now? What is your answer? Or in your organization, what Windows Server operating systems you are using? What is your answer? So for this you should know, okay, what and all SQL Server versions are there and what and all Windows Server versions are there. So both are very important, and tomorrow I'll ask you guys. Okay, if you want you can take the snippet. Okay, so for Windows Server 2000, Windows Server versions also, right? We discussed this point. Up to SQL Server 2017 you can install, means up to 2016, up to here you can install. You should install SQL servers only on which operating systems, guys? Up to SQL Server 2016 we can install SQL servers only on which operating systems? Windows operating systems. Windows operating systems. You can install only on Windows operating system. That is called a dependency. That is called a dependency. From 2017 onwards, you can install it on SQL Server, as well as you can install it on Linux also. Forget about Linux, as discussed, it was not so famous yet. Maybe in future it might be famous. Okay, so as of now, no one is using. Sir, do I need to learn Linux also? No, not required, not at all. Okay, so as of now it was not so famous. Maybe in the future, based on the features and all, it might be famous. As of now, not required. So SQL Server 2017, 19, 2022, you can install it on Windows plus Linux operating systems also. Right. Now, I hope you should get one doubt, guys. Any doubts here? I believe you should get one doubt. These are the SQL Server versions. These are the Windows Server versions. Any doubts here? Okay, that's fine. Yes, guys. Any questions? Okay, I have a doubt then. Okay, please clear my doubt. So these are SQL Server versions, right? I can install these SQL Server versions. These are the applications. So these are the applications. As these are the applications, I can install these applications on any operating system. So we'll use how to find out on which Windows server we are working. I'll tell you, Raviteja. So I'll tell you. So now I want to install all the SQL Server versions on all the Windows Server versions. Is it possible? Yes or no? You can just try, guys. You can just blindly try. Okay, no problem. You can go with that Inky Pinky also Ponky also. Yes or no? Yes means yes, we can install all SQL Servers versions on all Windows Server versions. No means no, we cannot install on all SQL Server versions on all Windows servers. Guess it, guys.
I'm not sure about all, but we can install multiple SQL servers.
Sorry, you can install?
I'm not sure about all servers,
Okay.
but you can install multiple SQL servers.
Okay. That's fine. Smart answer. Tell me, guys, guess it, guys, what is there? Initially itself I told you class should be interactive. It's not like I am only like speaking. Okay, so please be interactive, guys.
In one Windows, we can install multiple SQL Server versions.
Okay, that's okay, valid only. But my question is, can I install all my SQL Server versions on all my Windows Server versions? The answer should be yes or no.
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 Why? Because of its big compatibility.
Okay. Okay, fine. Very good. So the answer is no, guys. Answer is no. So then you should know, right, on what and all Windows Server operating systems I can install SQL servers. You should know, right? Why no one is getting that doubt? Right. So on what and all Windows Server operating systems I can install my SQL servers? Can I install on all Windows Server operating systems I can install all SQL servers? Or like how it will work? Very simple. This is called compatibility. What is this, guys? Compatibility. What is meant by compatibility? What is meant by compatibility, guys? Very simple. I'll give you a simple example. So in the childhood, we use it to wear some clothes, right? In the childhood, right? We use it to wear some clothes, right? Now also we are wearing, of course, that is a different thing. But so generally, whatever clothes that you wear in your childhood, can you wear the same clothes now, guys? Is it possible? Is it possible?
No,
Not possible. Why?
it doesn't fit.
Yes, it doesn't fit. Perfect word, doesn't fit. So what is meant by fit, guys? So in the childhood, our height is different, our measurements are different, right? So by that time, what is your height and all, you will check it based on your height. Your parents will buy some clothes, right? Right, they cannot expect after 20 years you will be this much tall, this much weight. Okay, so they cannot consider, they cannot judge, right? So that's why you cannot use those classes now, right? So in the same way, when SQL Server was invented in the year of 2000, they cannot guess, right, in future Windows Server 2022 also will come. They cannot guess it. They themselves don't know on which engineer worked on SQL Server 2000. We don't know whether he is there, he is alive or not. We don't know. After 20-30 years, how can we guess, okay, in future 2022 Windows Server 2022 will come, so my product should be flexible, or my product is fit for Windows 2022 also. We cannot guess it, right? By that time, what and all Windows Server operating systems are there to make sure it is compatible with the existing operating systems or near future operating systems, the engineers will design this, right? So I cannot install the very lower version of SQL Server on the very higher version. It's like you are using your 2000 whatever clothes you used in 2000, the year of 2000. So you are using currently still using the same clothes in 2022 also. It's not possible. 22 years gap is there. How it will be fit for you? In the same way, you cannot install SQL Server 2000 version in the Windows Server 2022. Cannot fit, guys. 22 years gap is there. Same. Okay. So you should know on what and all Windows Server operating systems I can install my SQL servers. You should know how to identify that one. Do we have any shortcut for that, or do we need to by heart anything? You should know, guys. Why? Because some customers will come to you, hey Abhi, can you please install my SQL Server 2012 on Windows Server 2022? What Abhi should respond here? Okay, no problem, I'll install it. A friend in a need is a friend in a deed. Okay, I'll install it for you. Later, Abhi came to know that 2012 cannot be installed on 2022. He cannot go back and tell to the client, hey client, so I'm sorry, I cannot install it. Right? You should know, right? On what and all Windows Server versions I can install SQL Server, you should know. Then how to remember, how to identify. Okay, so I'll give you a simple shortcut for this. So we'll generally use, this not like a benchmark, guys. You don't find this rule anywhere in the website and all. So it's just our understanding purpose only. So generally we have this -7 to +7 rule is there. Okay, it's very general. It's not actually a rule. It's not actually again I'm telling you, it's not actually a rule. You don't find this rule in any Microsoft websites or books and all. -7 to +7. What is this -7 to +7? Very simple. Now if you buy any clothes and all, right, you can use it for the, in case depends upon the clothes quality and all. If you still like it, you can use it for the next 4-5 years, right? If you want, you can still use it for the next 4-5 years. In the same way, so -7 to +7 means what? I'll give you an example. So customer comes to you, user comes to you, hey, can you please install SQL Server 2012 on Windows 2022? This is the customer requirement. Then you have to identify which version you want to install SQL Server 2012. So to SQL Server, you have to apply this formula to SQL Server versions. Okay, -7 to +7, 2012 -7. What is the value of 2012 -7, guys? 2005. 2012 +7.
2019.
2019. Very good. In this range, can you tell me what and all Windows Server operating systems are there in this range? In this range, what and all Windows Server operating systems are there? Can you tell me?
2008,
Very good.
8,
2008.
8 R2, 12,
8
12,
12
12
R2,
R2.
16, 19.
R2, 2012, 2012 R2,
2016.
2016,
2016.
and 2019. So in all these versions, you can install SQL Server 2012, guys. On all these Windows Server versions, you can install SQL Server 2012. Is it clear? Do you want me to explain again, guys?
No, sir, it's clear.
It might support other versions also, but pakka it will, for sure it will support all these Windows Server versions. For sure it will support for all these Windows Server versions. This is how you have to calculate. So if you are okay, if you guys, is it clear? I'll give you one question, guys. If it is clear, I'll ask you a question on this. Tell me if it is
No,
not
one
clear.
more time, Samik. One more
No
time.
problem, no problem. So someone comes to you and he is asking, hey, can you please install my SQL Server 2005 on Windows Server 2016. So now this is the requirement. Someone comes to you and he is asking. So now you have to, you cannot give false promise that, okay, I'll install you, okay, I'll update you once this is completed. You cannot tell them. First of all, you have to understand whether I can install it or not, right? So now tell me SQL Server 2005, right? The base version is 2005. So we have -7 to +7 rule is there. So 2005 -7. Now you want to find out on what and all Windows Server versions I can install 2005. You want to find out. So as discussed, we have -7 to +7 rule. 2005, you have to consider 2005 SQL Server version. You have to consider 2005 -7. How much? 1998. Very good. 2005 plus 7.
2012.
Very good. Okay, so in this range, what and all operating systems are there with me? In this range,
2000, 2000, 2000, 2008.
2000, 2003, 2000.
okay, so you can see you can install your SQL Server 2005 on all these Windows Server versions. SQL Server 2005 will support on the below versions. Okay, so this is how you have to calculate. Is it clear, guys?
Are we going to include 2000 R12 as well?
You can. Sometimes it will support you. You can, but I cannot guarantee you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, this I can guarantee you, but I cannot guarantee the 2012 R2. But mostly it will support plus or minus 1-2 versions. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions, guys?
So, Mr. Shanuk, I have one question.
Yes, please.
So, the customer, which we are working for, they have like a window operating system they're
Okay.
going to tell us. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So that's
No.
just I
Generally
because-
here two types of requirements will be there. Sometimes customers will simply ask you, hey, can you please install latest SQL servers? So Windows team, we are going to create one Windows machine and they will give it to us. Then we have to install SQL server. Some specific requirements will be there. Specific requirements for their application, maybe SQL server only still supports. That is an old application, legacy application. For them, only SQL Server 2005 will support. In that case, they will comes to you, hey, Abhi, I want to install SQL Server 2005. Can you tell me what and all Windows Server versions it will support? Then you should be, tell to the customer, right? You should be in a position to advise to him, right? So for that, you have to learn all these things.
Thank you.
No problem, Abhi. Any other questions, guys, here? Is it clear, everyone? If it is clear, then I'll ask you a question.
Will there be difference between 2012 and 2012 R2?
major differences, very small differences, very small. Okay, you don't find major differences between 12 and 12R2. The same way
Then
we'll
why
take
we
that.
have not mentioned 2012 R2?
See, it's not like that. Say 2012, they might release in the same 2012 R2. They might be released in the same 2012, or they might be released in the 2000 early 2013, right? So it is crossing the rule,
Okay.
right? -7 +7 rule, right? So that I'm not
Okay.
saying we cannot install. We can, but no guarantee that how it will work. Sometimes some functionalities will work properly, some functionalities may not work properly. So we cannot guarantee.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Okay, then let's go with the poll. Okay, so I am going to 26 questions. Let me check. Clear. Yes. Performance. No current Windows. Okay, fine. Very good. Okay, so that's fine. Now the question is, I want to install SQL Server. Don't type your answers. SQL Server 2008. Okay. So on what and all Windows Server versions we can install SQL Server 2008. I'll go for a poll, guys. I'll go for a poll. Guys, can you see the screen? What you can see on the screen currently? What you can see on the screen currently?
It's a notepad.
To notepad.
Notepad.
The notepad, what you can see,
Note.
the last line. What is the last line of notepad?
SQL Server
SQL
2008.
Server.
SQL Server 2008.
Okay, chalo. That's fine. Okay, just give me a minute. So here, okay. Okay, two. Okay, this. Okay, 2000, comma. Okay, and I'm just creating a questions and answers, guys. Just give me a minute. Okay, so the question is, let me create this back. Okay, fine. Sorry, that is not the one. Yes. Let me, where I can create one more hole. Okay, done. Got it. Yeah. Next. Right, okay, so be ready guys. Okay, chalo, I'm going to what is this request? Fine, save it and launch it. Done guys. So you can see the questions on your screen. Question, only one question. You can see it on your screen and try to respond to that guys. Can you see the question guys? Can you see the question?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
Just a minute, I'm getting one call. Right, okay, done. Let me end the poll. 81% is share the results. So can you see the results guys?
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
So what is the
Yes.
correct
question mode.
So two people selected 2000, 2003, 2005, 8R2. So do we have 2005 in the Windows Server operating systems? Do we have
No, sir.
2005?
No.
No. So initially itself you can go for trial and error method. You can eliminate the first option. Second, 2003, 8, 8R2, 12, 14. Do we have 2014 Windows Server operating
No,
system?
we don't.
No,
No,
we can
we don't.
eliminate in the trial and error method. Still two people selected 2014, two people selected for 2005, which is completely wrong. Third option, Windows 2005, 8, 8R2, and again fourth option, you can still see 2005. There is no Windows Server 2005, that also you can eliminate. Okay, at least you can go for trial and error method also. You can easily select third option, right? So the correct answer is 2000. I'm happy 81% people okay selected correct answer. I'm happy to that guys. So still if you are having any questions in identifying the version or in understanding the version, on which version I can install SQL servers and all, let me know. I'm okay. I'm happy to discuss again. No issues. You should be clear here. It is very important platform, guys. Later we can jump into other topics. Tomorrow we'll start the other topics and all, and then we'll continue, guys. Fine. Are we good, guys? Any suggestions, please? Classes are going too fast, too slow, too boring.
No, sir, it's clear for me and it's good.
Right. Chalo then that's it for today. So tomorrow at 7 a.m. Sorry, 7 p.m. Okay, so we will connect guys, but I have to talk to lot of you guys. Okay, just give me a minute, just 1 minute. Please don't drop, huh? Please don't drop. ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ. Okay. Okay, done. Okay, so tomorrow we'll connect at 7 p.m. guys, and we'll discuss. We'll continue the discussion. Okay, thank you all guys. Good night and good day guys. Bye.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm.